This is what we look for.
Thank you.
Our industry, is all about the magic words. Excuse me, may I, sir, madam, good morning, good afternoon, welcome, karibu. Or right from the gate to the reception. You are going places.
I am humbled to hear that, and I'm happy about this.
I'm already at home with my coffee.
Please, we need to get you some more. And this is Morning Cafe. It's all about coffee and coffee and coffee. Perhaps we're going to adjust and say with biscuits and with mandazi, but I realize you're not a sweet tooth. And so in that case...
Age is catching up now. Running...
age, the adjustments, you have no choice but to do that.
Running Air Travel and Related Studies Center. For 31 years.
It's no joke.
It's no joke.
31 cool years. Yes. That is from the early 90s?
The first day of December 1992. Nice. Right from very tiny. Linda was the MD, I was the GM, I was the Dean of Students, I was the marketing guy to start off with only 4 students.
Wow.
To where I am today with 1,000, 1,200.
Good progress.
Yeah, from a rented place to Karen.
A rented place links or a different place?
No.
Links with another one.
Starting off from a rented place to where we are at Karen.
Right.
That's not a mean feat.
That is not a mean feat.
And still going strong.
Still going strong.
And moving.
And
training generations. People say I'm the Mubaba of travel and tourism. I've trained people who have brought me kids. The kids graduate, they get married, they get babies, take them to high school, they bring them to me.
In my due diligence, because I do not just host you for the sake of doing it, I have to do my, due diligence, perhaps find out, I mean, just how many people have been through this, this center, what are their reports and all that. I can tell you that when they say you are the Mubaba of this industry.
It's true?
It is true, Giles.
They even have a club in Dubai, another one in Qatar,
courtesy of this.
Alumni.
Yes.
They say air travel students doing cabin crew, hospitality, cargo, all over the world.
Good job.
Sometimes, Linda, you go on a flight, you're on business class, you're going to Chicago or wherever it is you're going, and you hear that, someone else will upgrade you from business class to first class. Who is that? Your former student.
Nice.
You go stay in a place in Dubai, Grand Hyatt, or wherever it is, and they tell you, no, on checkout, they tell you, your bills are paid. I say, by who? By a former student you trained 15, 16 years ago. You can't repair us enough.
This is one space.
It's training.
This is one space that creates students that are marketable across the global fraternity. And this is generally about the air travel studies. This is generally about hospitality and all that. In fact, most of the people who study hospitality are looking forward to travel abroad to work. And again, also a space that is quite interesting because it's in this course that you do not really have to do a lot of upgrading once you travel to the other side of the world.
That's true. That's true. The key thing is the international exam that you offer.
Okay.
Air Travel Related Studies Center is a member of the Premier Circle of International Air Transport Association. You must be familiar with IATA, Linda.
Yes.
IATA is a global association of all the airlines of the world. Kenya Airways, Qatar, Singapore Airlines, out of yesterday, Singapore Airlines. All of them are members of IATA. So that means that IATA sets the examinations, or come up with the syllabus to start with, set the examinations, mark the exam, and award the qualification. That means that when you flash that diploma issued by IATA in Japan, in the US, in the UK, is acceptable worldwide.
Okay.
That's why the industry is such a small global village, because you have the same qualification, set by the same examiner, awarded by the same examination body.
The practices are the same.
I don't require much more training because I've gone to Australia, or I've migrated to the US or to the UK. And if the industry could embrace, and the rest of the world could embrace international qualification. We're a very small global village today, Linda. So if we can embrace international qualification at the moment, we'll go places. I get calls all the time, students, I've now changed hands, I'm in Delta, I've changed my job, name them, Cathay Pacific, Japan Airlines, now I'm in Dubai, I'm working for this and that hotel. It's amazing. International qualifications are big.
And we appreciate. COVID-19 would sound like a cliche because we've talked about it for quite a long time, but it was quite a shake.
Imagine
on this industry.
Yes, it's actually, for me as a trainer, it's twofold. We lost quite a lot. Of course, we ground to a halt. I think you know. Airlines closed, airports closed, hotels and so on, nothing operating. And half of those were in the industry actually left jobs, and for good. Not to come back, they found fortunes in other areas. But then from a training point of view, then this for us are opportunities that opened to train new students to fit in the industry and fit in the shoes of those that left to go and pursue other interests.
Right.
So every time I'm getting calls from airlines and hotels and so on, they need more and more and more. IATA says that most of the airlines in the world have gone back to pre-COVID levels, and they're at 98, 99% of pre-COVID levels. So the industry is good, looking up. I'm talking to operators all over in the country. Tour companies and so on, they are looking at a bumper high season in June, July, and August. Surely, we're on the road to recovery, but then that must be accompanied by serious training.
Let's talk about the students, and now that you talk about that, must be accompanied by serious training.
Yes,
perhaps
that's right.
It must have been felt by the actors of the industry, the people who were at it. But then for a moment, I think we have forgotten about the students who as well were starting to get into this industry, and the fear of such a catastrophe could arise again in life, and maybe is this really the direction to take in the event that it happens? Look at what it has happened to or what it has done to the tourism industry. Perhaps I need to rethink and change and all that. So in this training perspective, just what are some of the major things that we need to do to make sure that then it thrives, so that then the entire sector thrives across?
That's a very valid observation. I do career talks. I go to high schools and I talk to Form 4 leavers, those who are leaving that year, or even the Form 3s who are leaving the following year, on careers in travel, tourism, and hospitality. And they always ask me one question: but there was COVID. Mwalimu, we hear that it's not performing very well.
Right.
And I tell them that was then.
This is now.
Back to good. Even actually our post-COVID situation is even better than it was before we got COVID.
Is it?
We have more airlines coming up. We have more hotels opening up. Look at a very local example. Look at Westlands, for example. How many 5-star hotels can you count at the moment? There are many. Movenpick, Radisson, and on, I would say Sankara, I would say all those. And that's just from a very domestic level. Look at how many airlines have set up, extra airlines that are setting up. Many more airlines are coming through. So, message to students and guardians: they should not fear to venture into this industry.
Right.
We still require more and more personnel. Chefs have not been enough. Chefs, not just in Kenya, worldwide. At the same time, good people who can handle air cargo. People don't think that is a profession. But the air cargo profession thrived even more during COVID. The days that you'd go and make sure that all your shipments from China are fine, those days are gone. Now we send people, or now we send shipments on their own. We just pay, you get cargo back, you get your shipment at your destination without having to necessarily visit or travel all the way. Records are showing that cargo, for example, went thrice up. Look at the PPEs, look at the vaccines, they all came by air. And that is a huge area. Remember that now we're even having FedEx, the airline itself, coming to Nairobi. That was not before.
Right.
So parents and students should never fear to venture into these particular fields. We still have expatriates, Linda, running our hotels, our 5-star hotels, even chefs who are from other countries of the world. We need to bridge this gap. Why are they here? And with all due respect, they're here because we have not filled the gap as Kenyans, produced enough to work in the 5-star hotels. But then, as much as you're talking about hotels and airlines and so on and so forth, there are certain levels that we must train our students into. We are looking at situations where our students think that this is just all glamorous. No, you work. A cabin crew will sit in an aircraft, or will stand in an aircraft for 8 hours. Nairobi, London. Now you have Nairobi, London, Nairobi, New York on KQ is 13 hours. You serve when you're standing. The standards must be global standards. That chef who we train at Air Travel and Related Study Center and wherever else it is, must be able to produce that pizza the way it is it's produced in Milano. That sushi the way it is done in Japan. And so on and so forth. So we will need to instill in our students the confidence that it is international standards, and it is possible.
Right.
And parents at the same time should be able to support institutions by taking students where they can get the most of the benefit. For example, for us, we are full boarding school at college level. Why? We just don't want to train our students to pass an examination and get a paper. We want to train students who can also be able to have the right attitude. The grooming is fine. The sense of cooperation and teamwork is there. Adaptability, reliability, because students these days are affected by non-academic issues much more, and they take those to work. And then you find them losing their jobs or never getting a promotion because they are not at par. So we need to think about that. And most importantly, location of the institutions. It is a practical being offered. Is a skill being offered. Our training is all about, like you mentioned, our training is all about the skill that you're imparting on the student. It must be world class. So we will need to think about how we can be able to prepare our students to work anywhere in the world.
The government, and in particular the tourism industry or the tourism ministry, how is it coming in to complement the efforts that you people as private stakeholders are putting in?
We are the ones as institutions to affiliate ourselves with the professional bodies in the industry, like CATA. CATA stands for Kenya Association of Travel Agents, CATOC, Association of Tour Operators, and many others. And then from those, use those as channels to reach not just the trade association, but also government. You'll be interested to know that we are TVET institution registered under the Ministry of Education, have very little to do with tourism, but we are still training for the tourism industry. So it's upon the training institutions to ensure that they are able to link up with government in every opportunity, graduations and so on. Forum like this one, government can see what it is that I'm trying to do, and we are simply private institutions. And we believe we have a very serious and big sphere to train, because again, you could imagine, even if we say all the time we're looking for 5 million tourists to come to the country. 5 to 10. We talk about that all the time. But what's the point of them coming and they get a poor service, a mediocre service? They'll never come back to this country. They'll never refer friends and relatives into the country that we call Kenya. So that means our industry goes down. Yet, Linda, remember that we require foreign exchange big time. Second highest foreign exchange earner for the country. That is tourism. We require even more. I'm happy when I get calls from companies that are offering cruise ships. They want to train, or they want to recruit students from my institution to go and work in all the Virgin Atlantic and Caribbean islands as crew members in their ships, or any other country in the world. I know that when they do that, foreign exchange comes in. I have seen people that have trained who have built for their families. They have built homes for their mothers and brothers and their sisters, and even for themselves. They improve themselves. So I believe we are central. And look at it, 70% of our students are youth. This is very attractive to the youth. So I think I'm right in the center,
center of it, and also the question of employment and I mean job opportunities. Perhaps one of the industries that we have very many people flogging into.
You can never exhaust, because the industry is heavily labor intensive. Look at the chef; they must prepare food. Look at the service; it must be done by waiters and waitresses. Look at the reception that we have in our hotels. The housekeeping must be done by real people. So this is a highly intense, labor-intensive industry. As much as growth is there all over the world and worldwide, don't forget that we also are a developing country. Look at now our tourism, domestic tourism. We were able to survive through COVID because 50 to 60% of those who traveled to Mombasa, Masai Mara, Amboseli, Savo, and all over the Kenya region were actually Kenyans. Without the domestic tourism being active, we are not going to get anywhere. You're going to close all our airlines, going to close all our hotels and even tour companies. But look at how resilient the Kenyan people are. They have really supported us. So government should also think about even preferential rates for hotel accommodation and preferential rates even for airfares. For Kenyans, it used to be like that before. I know they are there, and many airlines and hotels are giving, but they can go a bit lower, at least if only to improve the market. And we need to clean up our image, Linda. Remember that you can work so hard, the marketing aspect can be done so perfectly, and then after some time, mano.
Well, that is also another problem, and I must admit that this has affected the confidence of tourists who would wish to travel to the country, investors and all that. So even in the process of making sure that we boost on this other side, what do we do to make sure that then again then we improve on basically the end product, because the end product has to be protected, guarded jealously.
Our end product is tired. We are doing beach and safaris.
Right.
We need to think out of the box now.
All right.
Cultural safaris, you know, what we call off the beaten track, mountaineering. Mount Kenya is the second highest mountain in Africa. All right. We don't get more than 5,000 in a year. They are doing 30,000 in Kilimanjaro, in Tanzania. So there's much more that we can do. Cultural safaris, proper student exchange forums with other universities and colleges. We used to have that. Our students at Air Travel and Related Studies Center go to Germany, and the Germans come in with an exchange program at student level to basically explore what it is that is happening on the other, on the other wall. That is tourism. Medical tourism. We talk about sports tourism. We need to enhance much more of what it is that we are doing. Kenya is known for its coffee, tea, pyrethrum, name it. But how many of us are keen on agro-tourism? There's quite a lot that you can be able to do in this country, and there's a lot. I was quite disappointed this morning when I learned that Turkish Airlines have cancelled the program from October all the way to April 2024, simply because they could not get a license to fly Istanbul-Mombasa. And yet we have allowed Rwanda Airways, Air Rwanda to do Kigali, Mombasa. Ethiopian Airlines is doing Mombasa, sorry, Addis, Mombasa, and vice versa. Let's open up our skies, Linda. If you have to save the cost of tourism, by that I mean Kilifi County, Kwale County, Mombasa County itself, we need to think very seriously about we can do the open skies. We have the Yamoussoukro Declaration. Yamoussoukro is a little town in Abijo in Ivory Coast. We will need to respect that open skies agreement so that we can have as many airlines as we can. Fares will come cheap. We are able to travel, and the 5 million tourists that we talk about is very easy to realize with proper connectivity. That's why we are getting it wrong. But there's quite a lot that we can
tap into.
The mess that happened yesterday is just simply because you have one runway.
Yes, and we all are privy to what really played out, especially.
Singapore Airlines. My students are doing an internship at the moment at Tradewinds. Tradewinds is a ground handler. When an airline gets on the ground, is handled, you know, all that by a ground handling company. I have an MOU with the Tradewinds. The students are telling me this morning before I came to studio that it was crazy. We have 10, 20, 30,000 passengers stuck at the airport because of us having just one runway. You would imagine how that sends negative feelers to the rest of the world. Passengers are being diverted to Mombasa and Entebbe and so on. So, okay, you're coming to Kenya on a holiday, you land in Entebbe instead of Nairobi, that day is spoiled. No refund, your safari is short by a day.
That's true.
So we need to think about, are we really a hub that we claim to be? A hub cannot have a runway. And Rwanda, I can tell you, Kigali is right hot on our heels. They have a serious partnership with Qatar Airways, and they're building up a brand new airport.
They will surprise us. We need to match up.
We need to match up. We don't have much choice.
We don't have much choice.
That's what is happening.
Yes. So, what do you offer in terms of courses, and most importantly, where are you located now that you speak about the location? And how do they get a hold of you? And I can see there are students who are asking, how do I get to join the Air
Charles Gaku, Managing Director at Air Travel and Related Studies Center. Air Travel and Related Studies Center is located in Karen. We have a shuttle at Karen Shopping Center. There's a Java there. And we are right on Rhino Park Road. We have a shuttle that is for free. It's free for all students.
For students.
Yeah, for all students and all those who want to make all those who are coming to make inquiries. That's a free shuttle for them. 31 years of training. We have 6 major courses. The first one is travel and tourism, where we train students on how to organize safaris. Next one is tour guiding, how to guide those who have come on safari. Saimara, interpreting the flora, fauna, and the cultures of the peoples of East Africa, so that they leave the country happy that they have mastered and understood the country. The other course we have is the one that we have never had enough students to train on. Air cargo, because the misconception is that this is a manual course. And I've told you it's grown threefold. Cargo course is big time.
Yeah.
So that's the third program that we have. We have then hospitality course like hotel management, training people to manage hotels.
Right.
Chefs, food production, what you call culinary arts, serious business. And of course the shorter courses like reception, housekeeping, waiters and waitresses, of course accompanied by the language. We have food boarding, you know, and all that kind of a thing. You asked me to give the contact as well.
Please.
I have two contacts. One is for myself, Air Travel and Related Study Center. The telephone number is 0721 380 590. And one more thing is that we need to learn to teach even as directors and owners of schools. Because in 31 years...
You have classes?
Yes, I do. 8 o'clock to 12, you cannot find me.
Okay.
So besides the number, the 0721 380 590, I have a PA called Faith Njeri, who picks up my calls when I'm in class. Because I still feel I have something to offer Linda.
That's true.
31 years, I've seen it grow. So Faith Njeri can be reached on 0722 66 9961, and then I'll get the messages from Faith.
There's people who are watching a big online. Any activities online or website?
Oh yeah,
and
we're
all
on
that?
Twitter, we name it. We're on all the social handles.
As Air Travel and Related Studies.
Yes, and when they give me a call, I send all those handles, they have a look at it. And of course the intakes are going on as well.
Yes.
Because they have just finished their KCSE, parents should not have their kids stay at home. They shouldn't.
I should be having an advertisement of you running on TV today. Why is it not there?
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Banambogwa came and told me that after this we go and see him. I'm ready to talk more.
Thank you. That we're looking forward to.
Yes.
Yes. Otherwise, we are grateful for speaking to us.
Thank you very much.
Reach them out, check it out, and see whether this is then the space that would be, you know, and tapping that.
Youngsters must embrace tourism. It's interesting. This is only a place you're paid to fly first class and you get a salary and you stay in a 5-star hotel.
You're on
the cabin crew.
Yeah, every other time for free.
I mean, how many professions are like that?
When you look at it that way, you suddenly
mingle with who is who. You know, everywhere in the world for free.